What's going on, guys? It's Tony K with Urban Girl Scout Media, living the dream as always, and coming to you today to talk about the Dallas Cowboys. On this special Off the Rails, I'm going to talk about some of the stories that have been going on this week with the Dallas Cowboys, their new head coach, Mike McCarthy, and then the players who are complaining. So just to catch you guys up on the whole story, Mike McCarthy, former Green Bay Packers coach, and remember, this is a guy who Aaron Rodgers, one of the greats of the quarterback position, really out in public he was really vicious towards their last few years, and even the 1 year between Mike's time in Green Bay and now his time in Dallas. It has not been a good relationship. The Dallas Cowboys are having a pretty abysmal season, although in the NFC least, or East, whichever one you want to call it, they are currently sitting in first place at 2-4. They are firmly entrenched in the mix, as they like to say. But the Cowboys are a dumpster fire. They 100% are. There's no changing my mind about that. Dak Prescott, his injury was devastating, and that kind of just was the bow on this situation for the season. But what I wanted to talk about was that after their loss this past week to the Arizona Cardinals, one that was embarrassingly bad, I believe somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 to 6 players or something like that. There was a handful of players basically that came out and they had some complaints, complaints about Mike's coaching or the system or the coaches in general, whatever. And there was some pretty damning stuff in there. Mainly, they don't know how to do their job. That's the truth. That is the truth right there. That's mainly what they're aiming at, is that these guys don't know how to do their job. So, I have a couple of reactions to this. First off, anytime that this happens, in any sport, where players anonymously say these things, and they don't want to come out in front of the camera, I get it. That's your job that you're putting at risk, yada yada. I get that. I always love the responses you see. News people on ESPN and Fox Sport 1. Let's have some people put their names to this and come out and talk. I just need to remind you guys that is literally what we do in many workforces to get people to open up, is we give them the ability to anonymously share their complaints. I'm not saying I like it. I'm not saying I don't like it. Anyone who knows me personally knows that if I have to fill out a survey and I have the ability to give my opinion, I'm going to put my name on it. There's no anonymous with me. So, first thought, welcome to what a lot of us lived through, where anonymous is actually encouraged at times, because in the NFL, there's no real protection against repercussions, against retaliation. My second thought is they do need to come out. As someone who has to deal with anonymous surveys, they do need to come out, these players. I'm a firm believer that if you're going to have something negative to say, you should put your face to it, put your name to it. I've never been one to appreciate the anonymous whistleblower or the anonymous complaint or the anonymous crybabies. There's a handful of exceptions, major moments in history where an anonymous whistleblower was needed. I get that, but your everyday things in the world that we live in, or even in sports like this, I just lose credibility with people. I just lose respect for people, and that's all it is. I just lose respect for people when they do that shit, because I think it's a coward's path to go to the media, complain anonymously in a way that could challenge someone's job and their job safety, and then you don't want to put your name to it. I think that's a coward's path. Anytime you want to talk about another person's job or their money, those sensitive topics, I think you should have to put your name to it. So that you have to own some of that responsibility. And I think that social media has kind of created this whole, people can be whoever they want online and there's no repercussions. That's a very dangerous thought process that I disagree with, but that is another day, another topic. Finally, I want to talk about the coach. So, from the moment that he interviewed with Jerry Jones, Mike McCarthy, I've not liked this. And I didn't side with him or Aaron Rodgers on that whole story. I thought that there was a lot of damning stuff between him and Aaron Rodgers where they both held some blame, but seeing his coaching style, hearing that he did a sleepover at Jerry Jones' house for his interview, that's a true statement, and then he's talked a lot about just things that don't feel natural, I think is the way I'm going to put it. I don't get the sense that I'm trying to think of some of them. Like, one of the big ones that I've noticed is that he talked a lot about analytics, the numbers, the next evolution of thinking. He doesn't sound like someone that's necessarily using that information and it doesn't look like he's using that information on the field, but he uses the words to get people who are not digging into what he's actually saying and listening past the initial word. He's using those words to get credibility. And I just think that's kind of sad. I really do. Because I don't think he's a bad coach. I think that he's in a bad system, in a bad situation, and between him, the owner, and the quarterback issues, this is going to be the Cowboys for the foreseeable future. Jerry Jones needs to get out of there. He can be the owner, but he can't be the GM no more. He's got to get out of there. That team's never going to rise to prominence. And how the fuck are they still considered America's team? Like, we do understand how awful they have been since their last Super Bowl, right? Like, we do realize that. Okay. Go back and find some stats, guys. You'll realize that's not America's team. Not even close. That's just people holding on to the past and being tryhards. Fuck the Cowboys. Sorry, Dallas is just one of those teams I've just never liked. Never liked. I have some friends who really root for them, and good for them. You know, I don't go out of my way to shit on the Cowboys in front of them, but I don't care for what Jerry Jones has done to this brand. I don't care for the fact that he only hires puppets, and I don't care for the fact that he enables this kind of culture. You know, Mike McCarthy's coming out here saying this was our best week of practice. Bullshit, Walter. This was our best week of preparation. Bullshit, Walter. If that was the case, you should have performed a lot better than getting blown out in your home stadium. It's going to be a fun time in Dallas, though, that's for sure, guys. And hopefully the drama doesn't stop. I think it's fucking hilarious. I still can't get over the fact that there was a sleepover between these two grown-ass men. They fucking wearing onesies. They, you know, onesies with the footy things on. It's crazy. So that's what I got for you. Remember, guys, I'm on TikTok, Tumblr, YouTube, Facebook. This is Tony K with Urban Girl Scout Media.